So the total amount we have raised tonight is $1,030,000. And if you...
What? That is amazing.
That's amazing. And if you add the multi-year pledges, to it, it comes to over 1.3 million. But 1,030,000 raised tonight at the MFA Gala. I appreciate all your generosity, your outpouring for AIF, and believe me, this money will be put to good use. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we get Nalini Sharma up here now?
Good evening, everyone. I actually have the most rewarding and happy task tonight. I get to thank all of you. Your support is truly remarkable. Please know that the money you have helped raise tonight will go an incredibly long way and improving the lives of so many that we don't see, but we know that they are there.
Welcome to Chai with Manju. I am Manju Sheth. Our special guests today are Raj and Nalini Sharma. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are very happy to have you here. And since this is the story of your life, we're going to start right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning of time.
So I'm going to start with Nalini because I heard a very special story about how it was love at first sight. So tell us that story.
Thank you, Manju, and thank you for the chai. We actually do get chai with Manju.
See?
Our story. Well, this goes back many years. Raj and I first met at a radio station in India, All India Radio. I was a radio producer, producing programs to be aired on radio, and Raj was a radio host, and I had heard him on the radio before. So
that's you, Vani, right?
That's right, you were Vani.
Right.
So I'd heard him. I was a follower because he had a big following. And
so did you like his voice before you liked him?
Yes, he had a very sexy, romantic voice, and he would say very poetic things.
Oh, really?
So
does he still
I
do
still
that?
say poetic things now.
Okay.
So I had come out of the studio after editing something, and a mutual friend introduced us, and so I said, aha, so this is the face that goes with the voice. And so we ended up chatting for a few minutes, and ended up meeting a few more times. And then he sprung this on me. He said that he was producing a play. Okay. And he was wondering if I'd be interested in acting in it. And I was a big theater person, acted in plays in high school and college. And so I said yes, and so he made me come to auditions, and somehow I ended up with the lead female role.
And what was the lead female role?
it was a play called Visions Do Not Die.
Okay.
And it was about young people and having dreams and following dreams, and so I was the main character there. And
what was the name of the main character? Let's jog your memory.
Ninu was the name of the character.
Was he an actor as well?
No, he was just the director and producer.
Okay.
And no, I know. I thought he would say he's going to be the lead male role, but he didn't do that.
Okay.
So that was sort of the background for our romance. We ended up dating each other for over a year and a half.
Okay.
And then we took it to the next step. We got married and moved here to the U.S.
And what was the first thing that you liked about him? The first thing, apart from the sexy voice?
Just the way he talked. He had a very nice demeanor, very kind of a low voice. And
Raj, what is the first thing you remember about Nalini?
The first thing I remembered was how beautiful she was.
Let me ask you, what was she wearing the first time you saw her?
She was wearing a green sari.
Really? Is that true?
That is true.
And she was great to talk to, very easy to talk to.
Okay.
And we started working in the play together, and got to know her over time.
It's interesting. So many people, men that I've interviewed, and I always ask them, what is the first thing you like about your wife? And almost always they say she's very easy to talk to. It was very peaceful and fun to be around her. Now, how did your parents feel about this marriage?
Oh, they were all for it.
And do you have the similar backgrounds, same language? I know you've been all over the place, including Bhubaneswar, but
Yes,
you
that's
settled
right.
in Hyderabad, right?
That's right.
And what about you?
I grew up in Hyderabad.
Okay.
My mother's side of the family is from Hyderabad, an old Hyderabadi family.
Oh, okay.
And so initially I had no idea that who Nalini's parents were, or
Okay.
and we came to know that our parents knew each other.
Our grandparents actually knew each other.
That's amazing.
And so,
So actually that was great because it was a big hurdle that was not there for us. Our families knew each other, and they were very happy when they heard that we are seeing each other. So.
Love come arranged.
exactly.
Bollywood movie.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, you had quite a colorful background, Raj.
Oh my goodness, that's
I
scary.
read you were in All India Radio, Yovani. Then I read about a very special Elvis story. You want to tell us about that?
Sure. Well, All India Radio was a fun experience. As you know, in India, growing up in the 70s,
Right.
there wasn't, that much in terms of media to get involved. Television was still in its infancy. So got involved with All India Radio, especially with, Western music and rock and roll. And I remember a friend of mine who had one of these ham radios. So we used to listen to Voice of America all the time. And I heard that Elvis Presley had died.
Right.
So this was probably late midnight, and my show was 6 o'clock in the morning. It was called Choice Parade. So listeners used to write requests, and I used to read from postcards, but you needed the numbers.
And you had one record.
One record of Elvis Presley in all of All India Radio. So went to my friend of mine. I knew he was a big Elvis fan. Knocked on his door at 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, what the hell are you doing at 4? And I said, I need your Elvis records. Elvis died. And he said, Elvis died. You here? What are you going to do with the records? I said, I'm going to play it in an hour and a half, and I'm going to acknowledge you. So anyway, collected the records, and I had a little motorbike, one of these Barbie motorbikes. And so went to All India Radio, and I said, the king is dead. Long live the king. And played an hour of Elvis. So at the end of the hour, the station master comes running after I come out, and he says, Raj, you did something, you violated our rules. You're going to be suspended because you made a death announcement without our permission. The entire world knew about it. I didn't think of it as a death announcement. But anyway, they reversed themselves.
And it's government protocol, it has to go through that.
They reversed themselves. But that was India at that time.
So, and then I read somewhere that your dad wanted you to have a career, and that's why you went to Osmania University.
That's right. So when I was doing this, I went to Nizam College for my undergrad, but radio was really my life at that time. So I wanted to stay back in Hyderabad, and he said, I don't think there's a future in radio for you. You should do something in business. So I went and got my MBA, but throughout that time period, I was still working at All India Radio because
So
that
that's
was
your
sort of my
passion
passion. And I think it was about 7 years. And I did cricket commentary for a while. And
Really?
did a bunch of other things at All India Radio. And so his advice proved to be pragmatic because, now I'm in business and not in radio. And,
But you were in communications after you
that's
moved to
correct.
United States,
correct.
right?
In fact, that's what brought me to the United States.
Right.
To do my master's in communications.
Emerson,
I wanted to pursue it. I was a little bit bored with being in management. And although I was in it only for a few years at that time, I wanted to do something else. And that's brought me to Emerson.
So I read an interesting story that you ran into someone at a party who worked for Merrill Lynch. And that was the time there were a lot of changes. And then you kind of decided to join Merrill Lynch after that. And so you were you call yourself an accidental advisor, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it wasn't something I had sought.
Right.
So after being in the media field for,
Right.
7-8 years, I'd done work with advertising and commercials and documentaries. And I sort of felt that I wanted to change, wanted to do something entrepreneurial. But I had no capital. I had ideas and I could talk. It didn't have the capital. And somehow got introduced to this idea of financial services and how you can build your own practice.
Right.
And that appealed to me. So I sort of tested it out, and I didn't get hired for a few months. In fact, the first Merrill Lynch office rejected me. They said I
Really?
wasn't ambitious enough. And you know, at that time, this was the late '80s, just before the crash of '87, and it was tough to get a job in Wall Street. And so anyway, somebody took pity on me and said, "Oh, let's give this guy a chance. Let's try him out for 3 months." And so it's been 27 years.
So, from being rejected, right, in the beginning to 10 billion in assets now, it's been quite a journey. Do you think you're a destiny's child, or do you think destiny played a role in your success? Are you Mukaddar ka Sikandar?
I would say
we try to bring Bollywood very
Of course. I would say destiny has a lot to do with it.
Right.
I mean, I sort of see life as a progression.
Right.
It takes you to different paths, and you sort of need to follow your passion at that time.
Right.
And I haven't lost my passion for media. I still love media. I'm talking to you now, and but I felt this may be something where I could combine my business skills and my communication skills.
Right.
So it was accidental. I hadn't planned it. But
Some
it's
of the best
become-
things in life are. Right.
Exactly, and I've enjoyed it.
They say there are no accidents, though. It's
Right.
all someone planning up there.
Exactly, someone making those tiny moves out there.
So, and when we were talking about parents, and parents inspire us so much. And I'm the best armchair traveler, and you are the best traveler in the world, I feel. So you said your dad was interested in traveling and got you inspired, right?
That's right.
Tell us about some of your travels. About his passion.
My father, he believed in education through travel experiences.
Okay.
Any opportunity we would get, we'd travel to nearby places, faraway places. Even if we had a 3-day vacation, we'd go somewhere regionally and explore. And I think that's what triggered my interest in travel.
One of the interesting things that I've seen in your travel pictures is that it's not the typical resort traveling, right? I've seen you go and stay at huts and all those things. So
exactly, I enjoy both. I enjoy both. I do. I can go on a luxury safari in Africa, or I can stay in a tea house in remote rural Nepal with mud floors and animals walking above my head in the barn above us. And I do really enjoy all of it, and I'm at home with all of it. I just take it as it comes and enjoy the experience.
How about you? You enjoy traveling?
I do enjoy traveling, but I prefer a Ritz-Carlton close by. So I'm not for roughing it for too long.
I'm also comfort and cruise traveler.
Exactly.
Now, you had travel business too, right?
I was in the travel business. In India, after I finished my BS in nutrition, I did a postgraduate diploma in travel and tourism.
Interesting.
And I was working for Swiss Air in India. And then I moved to the US and worked in the travel management business for 10 years.
Okay.
So that's
She's
that's
my
another
trip advisor.
Especially before kayak, right?
Right.
That's right, exactly.
So then once my second child was born, I decided I'll stay home.
So what is the best advice you've given your kids?
The best advice, follow their passion.
Okay.
Be true to who they are as
Right.
people, and try to take some risks in life. Don't play it too safe.
I've never heard a parent say that before.
Right. And I think it's important to try something out of their comfort zone. Something different. And doesn't matter whether they succeed or fail, but that's something which we hope we have inspired in our children.
Right.
Our daughter is a producer for NPR.
Right.
In New York,
Right.
and she is an absolute risk
So the
taker.
journalism gene is there, huh?
Yes.
It is there, and she's actually
The
continuing
travel and
it.
the-
Yeah,
Right.
she's doing it
Yeah.
full time at the
Right,
job.
right. Okay.
And,
Talk about telling them to take risks. I mean, she has our daughter has traveled, and actually our older son also. They've traveled to many countries in Africa,
Really?
and lived there for months. And
Wow.
and just recently our older daughter covered Ebola in Liberia. So
I would get such
yeah.
an anxiety attack.
It was an incredible anxiety attack,
Oh
but
my
she wanted to
goodness.
do it,
Yeah.
and she went there for a week, and she did a story on the Ebola crisis in
I
Liberia.
couldn't do that. That is scary.
One thing I want to say about children is I
Right.
think I feel that my purpose in life is to sort of win the admiration and respect of our children.
Right.
I think most parents feel
Right.
that, don't you
Right.
think?
Absolutely.
That's what gives
Absolutely.
them the most happiness.
And you get it after the teenage years.
You got it.
I've given up on the getting the respect in teenage years.
That's right. We hope we get it down the road. Yeah,
Once you cross 20, I need some respect. Or at least 18.
that's right.
Uh-huh. Yes, both very well-known philanthropists in our area. So tell us about some of the charities and the non-profits that you support.
Sure.
Raj first.
You know, on a global level, the American India Foundation,
Yes.
right, AIF, and we've been involved with it for the past 10 years or so. And there are over 50 people now in Boston
That's wonderful.
who are sort of spearheading the chapter. A lot of enthusiasm, and on a community level, we've always felt, you know, we live in this country, this is
Right.
our home.
Right.
We want to give back to the
Right.
local community,
Right.
enrich it. So I've been involved, and Nali has been involved with the Boston Harbor Island Alliance. I was on the board for about 10 years. So this is an organization which promotes and preserves the 34 islands surrounding the Boston Harbor.
Wow.
If you haven't been to one, Manju,
Yes. And I want to go for that kite flying thing.
the
Yes.
kite
Right?
flying thing, and maybe we can do an interview on one of the islands,
Yeah,
maybe Spectacle
absolutely.
Island next
You
year.
tell us, we'll come.
Sounds great. You know, we were talking about doing something, a show there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so that is one, and we are trustees now, and I've just gotten off the board. But there's another organization called Youth Lead, based on
Okay.
the South Shore. And it's an organization for high school students outside the school system. It's a forum for discussion about difficult topics. And we are trying to develop a generation of young leaders who can talk about all kinds of difficult issues in a diplomatic way. So you disagree without being disagreeable. And so that is one we're involved with. And I'm involved with Emerson College, my alma mater.
Yes, of course.
I'm a trustee, and it's great to work with them on a variety of media issues. And one of the things Emerson plans to do is to have some collaboration with India, and perhaps open up or have collaboration or a link with an institution in India where they could collaborate on media issues.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
so those are some of the main ones. And Nali, of course, is involved in a few.
Yes, absolutely.
arts
And she has a
organizations.
passion for music too.
Yes.
So I want to hear
Um,
about that.
In addition to all the organizations that Raj mentioned, I'm also passionate about music and art. So in that respect, I've been involved with MITAS. I'm on the board of directors. And I am an overseer at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Again, these are things that my dad instilled a love for, and both my parents, I would say. And I'm also very, very passionate about the environment, so I'm involved with a lot of organizations.
So if there's one person that you were given a choice that you could meet, who would that be? Or have a conversation with?
I would probably say two. I'd probably say
Okay.
both my grandfathers, because I never saw them.
Okay.
I would love to have a conversation with both of them.
Okay. How about you?
You know, lots of people, but in the sort of the political realm, certainly I'd love to meet the president
Of course.
and have talk to him about
Right.
his life. But there are people who, I'm inspired by, just like Nalini, when I look at my history, my grandfather, whom I did not meet, and it'd be great to hear about what he went through
Right.
the early part of the last century.
Right. Tell us, what was the happiest moment of your life?
The moments that our children were born.
Right, right,
So it's four of
absolutely.
them, and four
Right.
happy moments.
Right.
I think there are many happy moments. It's very hard to pick one moment. But the things that make me happy are being outside in with nature, and being with my family.
Right. How about you?
I'll tell you what gave me a big thrill.
Yes.
I taught all the kids how to ride a bike.
You did.
I would run after them, and the minute they are, you know, that magic moment when they can ride the bike on their own, that was the moment which, you know, is thrilling. Wow.
Just letting go.
Actually, and the amazement on their faces when they're able to ride on their own.
I like that. Now, our audience will never ever forgive me if we have one of the best financial advisors here and don't ask for 3 tips. Tell us.
You know, financial advice, you know, there are many pundits who
Right.
talk about finances, but fundamentally I feel if you're going to be in the investing game,
Right.
if you're going to invest, you have to be optimistic about the future.
Right.
Optimism is a key part of investing. And second, investing is not a short-term game. It is a 5, 10, 15-year game. And so adjust your expectations
So you're
accordingly.
not a fan of day traders?
I'm not a fan of day traders. I have no idea how they make money. In fact, most people don't make money day trading.
It's like gambling almost,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Right.
And I would say buy great companies. You know, we have phenomenal companies around which are socially conscious, which do well for their shareholders, for their employees, for the environment. And these companies tend to do well for, you know, in terms of making money.
Right.
And so investing in some ways is very simple. It's the key thing is not to complicate it.
And what are the best advice? 3 things you would advise in general. What would you tell people who want to give back in life or want to get associated with good charities or non-profits? How to go about it?
I think I'll refrain from advice, but I'll tell you what my philosophy is. I think my philosophy about philanthropy is that it's like religion. You don't want to force it on people.
Right.
You know, you want to inspire people.
Right.
So I think you give back to what you feel is important to you.
Absolutely. Whenever I see both of you, you look so peaceful and happy together. You really do.
It's all a big act. It's all a big act.
Visions do die.
Visions do die.
No, they haven't.
So, and especially now in the current times where marriages have become more fragile, and I think the numbers vary all the time. Now we're up to 75% of marriages don't work. So what's the best marriage advice you would give?
Just be friends and remain friends. I think that's
Friendship is the key.
friendship. You just respect each other and think of each other as friends.
Okay.
I think that's it's marriage is tough. You know, it's not
What
an
are some
easy
of
thing.
the tough things?
I think the tough things
You
are
really
that
want me
no,
not to talk about it?
I
It's
know.
going to take a few hours.
No, I think what happens is I think people do change over the years, and I think the tough thing is to manage that change.
Right.
I think that's the difficult part of it. But I think that's when the friendship kicks in. If you
So what would be the best advice?
I agree
you
with
would give?
everything she says. She is perfect.
no, I'm not.
And you know, I would say some of the same things. I think it's friendship. It's making sure that you're attentive, you're caring about the other person, what's important to them.
So what's your philosophy of life then?
My philosophy in life is to be kind, to be generous, and to uplift people. And it may sound sort of high and mighty, but in your own way, that it's uplifting your siblings, your children,
Right.
your team. And one of my dreams, Manju, is when I get the time, and hopefully there's another career somewhere in the future, I'd love to motivate young people. I feel too many young people
Right. They
are
need
sort of
direction.
pessimistic,
Correct.
and we live in a world with a lot of strife.
Right.
And so one of my goals is to work with young people, and perhaps through India, New England, maybe through
Really?
through
MultiMedia?
Chai with Manju. But I think it's important for them to understand that
Right.
one of the most powerful things in life is optimism and a sense of discovery.
So that brings me to what do you want to accomplish in the next 10 years? Just a couple of things that you want to do.
Specific things, I would say I would love to take an art course, like watercolors,
Did you know
painting.
I didn't know that.
See? I could tell from the fraction that you moved your eyes.
I love to travel more.
Where
so
would you
many
like
more
to travel?
places.
Next destination.
I've not been to New Zealand. I would love to go to New Zealand or South America. I have not been to South America either.
Interesting.
So that's,
I think he's thinking of the resort right there.
yes, that's right. And I would love to go back on more treks. I really, really enjoyed those. I'd love to do more of that.
Okay.
Another thing is I'd love to improve my knowledge of Sanskrit. I
Really?
had taken Sanskrit in college.
Did you know that one?
You know, I knew that a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
you knew? Okay, okay.
And,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Sanskrit.
that's about what I'm thinking of, and I'm sure something else will pop into my head, and I might,
As we are driving
as-
home.
How about you?
You know, a few things come to mind. First, we have 4 great kids, and they're all in the sort of formative years,
Right.
and love to help them in whatever way I can so they reach their fullest potential in life. And it's a tall order because kids have their own minds.
I did remember another thing.
Okay, good.
Oh, sorry. To
No, go ahead.
I have a passion for real estate, and
Now, did you know that?
yes, he.
From the
I
house
do
in Maine,
in the past few years,
House
very
in Maine,
determined
that
about
was-
it.
So I'd like to dabble more in that and kind of
Interesting.
expand my real estate.
That I'm very impressed. I think you might find a very nice house in Maine very soon,
You know, I think so. That's what I'm afraid of.
which will be even better than the one that was last year.
Exactly.
It's waiting for me. Yes.
I've got to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Love to form in the next 4 or 5 years with other like-minded people a foundation
Okay.
where we can attract funds, certainly, to do some interesting and out-of-the-box kind of philanthropy.
Now we're coming to a very interesting section. It's the most favorite for all our readers and audience. It's called the rapid response.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I
But
better have my
I
chart.
know, and I better have my thinking cap on.
But with you, we're going to do it with a spin. And we're doing it with a spin for the first time. And only because you said you're married for 35 years. So I'm
Uh-oh, I
going
see
to
what's
ask
coming.
you, and you cannot prompt, and you have to be very honest. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, Raj, some of Nalini's favorites, and Nalini, I'm going to ask you some of Raj's favorite.
Okay.
And if it's not a favorite, please say it's not. Let's see how well you know each other, okay? With you first. What do you think is Nalini's favorite movie?
Gone with the Wind.
Mine too. And Hindi movie?
I would say Kabhi Kabhi.
What's her favorite song?
Oh my goodness.
35 years, you need to
I
know
would say
this.
Imagine from John Lennon.
Imagine from John. Who's her favorite actor? Both Hollywood and Bollywood.
Come on, you know this.
No problem.
Bollywood has to be Rajesh Khanna. And Hollywood, I don't quite know. I'm at a
Minus
loss.
1 point right there.
I know. I can't believe it.
Johnny Depp.
Oh my gosh. So far, he's only got one answer right.
All right, favorite actress.
Actress
Actress. Hollywood and Bollywood.
for Nalini.
Yes.
I would say that's a tough
I'm
one.
beginning to believe you don't listen.
I don't think I do, but I'm just going to take a wild guess. I mean, there's so many actresses. I would say
Getting some points, Nalini.
Bollywood has to be Sharmila Tagore,
Who we met at your house.
and Hollywood, Julia Roberts.
Okay, we're gonna find out. Now, what's her favorite? This one you have to get it right. What's her favorite travel destination? I'm enjoying this game actually.
I've got to say, favorite destination is Nepal.
Okay. What's her favorite book?
She's reading a book by an author called Geraldine Brooks.
Is that her favorite book though?
I think it's a favorite. She's very passionate about it. She talks
Okay.
about it all the time.
Okay.
And she wants to meet the author too.
That we can do.
And she's rearranging all our vacations to meet the author. How's that?
Very interesting. Favorite dish.
Favorite dish.
I've seen all those baking pictures.
There comes out. I know she loves okay. I'm going to get into a real lot of trouble. Okay.
I think that you should put
Anything to do with spinach and cauliflower.
Okay. So let's see which ones did he get right. The favorite movie.
Can I tell you,
Yeah.
honestly, the one answer he got right was Rajesh Khanna. That was it. I'm not... See, this proves my point that he doesn't listen.
Doesn't hear, doesn't listen. Let's find out from you, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite Hindi movie is Mr. and Mrs. Iyer.
Okay.
No idea.
Western movie was... oh gosh. Yeah, Gone with the Wind was
Okay,
sort
you got
of
something,
okay.
right?
Yeah, but
You got like
really,
a half point there,
again,
right?
no one favorite movie, but yeah.
Favorite song?
Song is from Hindi song is from the movie Khamoshi.
Khamoshi.
Yes.
I knew that.
Yes.
I knew that. You didn't read our
Yeah.
last interview.
That's right. Okay.
Tell us the words then.
Wo
Of the
Sham
song.
Kuch Ajeeb
Wo
Thi.
Sham Kuch
Yeah.
Ajeeb Thi. And there's Rajesh Khanna in it.
Yes,
See?
exactly. Double whammy here.
And who's your favorite actress?
My favorite actress in Bollywood is probably Jaya Bhaduri.
How about travel destination?
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Is my favorite travel
I'm
destination.
very curious about the favorite book with all that he said.
Yeah.
Is that the favorite
It's
book?
sort of all, yeah. But Geraldine Brooks is one of my favorite authors. But my favorite book is the dictionary.
Really?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
just
goodness.
thoroughly enjoy looking up meanings of words, learning new words. And as
She's
you
great
can
with
tell,
Scrabble.
And I forgot to ask you, who runs the finances in the house?
Not me.
yeah, anything at home.
I
is
just
sort
help
of-
other people.
Yeah,
That's all.
So-
anything at home is sort of my realm. I run the household. Of course, unless of course there's when there's a big problem, I drag him in. Like,
So now we're going to do the same thing. Let's
I
see.
was hoping you'd do that.
Yes.
Wasn't quite unfair to just do it for me.
All right. What do you think is his favorite movie? Raj's favorite movie?
the one with
So curious.
with the Lakshmi in it. Oh gosh, what was the name of that movie? There was a song called "My Heart Is Beating."
Oh, Julie.
Julie. Yes, I think that was
Right.
his favorite movie.
That was a favorite of a lot of teenagers those days. An English
She's pretty
movie?
hot.
She's very.
English movie, Mrs. Doubtfire or something like that. You know?
That's looking very doubtful to
I
me.
know.
Now, what about his favorite song?
Oh, this one I know. Pal bhar ke liye koi hame pyar kar le.
So Julie and Palwar ke liye koi was like,
I'm just a light
I'm
kind of guy.
getting an idea what kind of teenager you are.
Actually, even the children, our kids know that song because, growing up, he always would say that that's his.
Jhoota, he said.
Yes.
That's right.
All right, favorite actor?
Favorite actor in Hindi movies is Shashi Kapoor because
That I can understand.
people would say that he looked like Shashi Kapoor in his
Oh,
teens. So I think that was his favorite actor.
What's his favorite travel destination?
His favorite travel destination is probably. I mean, although he loves to travel, he goes everywhere with us. I think left to him, I'd probably say the couch in the family room.
Does he have
In
a
front of a
position where he
TV?
likes to sit?
Yeah, with CNN on, or CNBC or one of those.
Who's your favorite actress?
His favorite actress is Hema Malini.
So what is his favorite book?
He likes anything that's Brian Tracy books. Some self-motivation books. He loves those books.
With that, I'm going to come to your last question. What's your last word on chai?
My last word in chai. Well, first of all, I've got to compliment you.
Thank you.
and Upendra for doing
Thank
an exceptional job. It is not an easy enterprise to run, and you guys do it with a lot of enthusiasm and charm. So wish you guys all the best.
Thank you very much. Okay. And that's-
Chai with Manju is terrific, and Upendra Mishra has done a terrific job of the
Producing
Indian
it.
media in the New England area. And congratulations to both of you, and wish you many, many successes.
More chais in the future.
Yes.
Many
I
more.
will drink to that.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.